The pint you are drinking isn't what it used to be. That familiar beer brand you have trusted for decades has changed its recipe, reduced the quality of its ingredients, and added chemicals that were not there when you started drinking it 40 years ago. The craft beer revolution promised authenticity and quality, but many of those independent breweries are now owned by the same massive corporations producing the mass-market lagers they supposedly rebelled against. British beer has a proud history stretching back centuries. Real ale, proper brewing techniques, ingredients you could count on one hand, malted barley, hops, yeast, and water. But walk into any supermarket today, and the shelves are dominated by products that barely resemble traditional beer. They are made with adjuncts like rice and corn to cut costs. They are filtered and pasteurized so aggressively that any complexity is destroyed. They are carbonated artificially to save time and money on natural conditioning. The big brewing conglomerates have systematically bought up beloved British breweries, kept the names and branding that customers trust, and then quietly altered the recipes and production methods to maximize profits. That Fuller's You, remember? The Green King you have drunk for years? The Newcastle Brown that used to taste like something? They have all been altered, moved to different breweries, or had their formulations adjusted to reduce costs while maintaining the illusion of continuity. What makes this particularly concerning is how many additives have crept into modern beer without most drinkers realizing it. Propylene glycol to maintain foam. Isinglass derived from fish bladders to clarify the beer. PVPP, a plastic polymer used for stabilization. Caramel coloring made through chemical processes. All of these are legal, all are rarely disclosed on labels, and all represent departures from traditional brewing that would not have been tolerated in previous generations. Over the next few minutes, we are going to expose 8 beer brands that represent the worst of modern industrial brewing, followed by 4 brands you can actually trust to maintain quality and honest production. From chemical-laden lagers to corporate-owned craft beers that are not craft at all, these products show how far British beer has fallen from its origins. Number 8 on our avoid list is Carling. Britain's best-selling lager, which should immediately make you suspicious about quality. Carling sells in massive volumes because it is cheap, widely available, and aggressively marketed, not because it is good beer. This is industrial brewing at its most cynical. Carling is made using a significant proportion of maize and rice alongside malted barley. Those adjuncts are cheaper than barley malt, and they thin out the beer, creating a watery, characterless taste that defines mass-market lager. Real beer is made from malted barley, hops, yeast, and water. Adding maize and rice is a cost-cutting measure that dilutes what beer should be. The brewing process for Carling is accelerated using temperature manipulation and chemical additives to speed fermentation and conditioning. Traditional brewing takes weeks or months. Carling is brewed, filtered, pasteurized, and packaged in days. This speed comes at the cost of flavor development and complexity. You are drinking beer that never had time to develop the characteristics that make beer worth drinking. The pasteurization process involves heating the beer to high temperatures to kill living organisms, and that destroys much of whatever flavor the beer had developed. It creates shelf stability, which is great for the corporation shipping beer across the country and storing it in warehouses for months. But it is terrible for taste. You are drinking beer that has been heat-treated into submission. Carling is owned by Molson Coors, a Canadian-American brewing giant that operates on scales where individual beer quality becomes irrelevant. They are producing millions of hectoliters annually. At that volume, brewing becomes an industrial process optimized for consistency, cost, and shelf life rather than flavor, quality, or brewing tradition. Number 7 on our avoid list, Foster's. The Australian lager that is not brewed in Australia and has not been for UK markets in decades. Foster's is now brewed under license by various corporations around the world, including Heineken, for UK markets. You are drinking a brand that has been completely divorced from whatever original brewing tradition it might once have had. The recipe used for UK Foster's is adjusted for British tastes and costs. It is not the same beer as Australian Foster's, and that Australian version is not particularly good. You are drinking a beer formulated by committee in boardrooms, rather than developed by brewers in breweries. Foster's uses similar cost-cutting measures as carling, adjunct grains to reduce malt costs, accelerated fermentation, aggressive filtration, and pasteurization. The result is a beer so bland and characterless that it is essentially carbonated yellow liquid with a hint of beer flavor. The only reason people drink it is price and availability, not quality. What is particularly frustrating about Foster's is the marketing around Australian identity and outdoorsy masculinity when the product has nothing to do with Australia and everything to do with global corporate brewing optimized for maximum profit at minimum cost. You are being sold an identity and lifestyle association while drinking one of the lowest quality lagers available. Number 6 on our avoid list, Stella Artois. The Belgian lager is marketed as premium when it is made using the same industrial processes as budget lagers. Stella Artois is owned by AB InBev, the largest brewing corporation in the world, and it shows how premium pricing does not mean premium quality in modern beer. Stella Artois for UK markets is brewed in the UK under license. It is not imported from Belgium. The brewing process uses the same shortcuts and cost reductions as mass-market lagers, including adjunct grains, accelerated fermentation, and heavy filtration. The main difference is the marketing budget and the price, which are both substantially higher than budget lagers despite minimal quality differences. The nickname wife beater that Stella acquired in British drinking culture was not accidental. The combination of high alcohol content and low price made it popular with heavy drinkers, and the brand became associated with aggressive behavior and antisocial drinking. While the company has tried to distance itself from this image, the fundamental product has not changed. It is still a mass-produced lager with artificially inflated premium positioning. What bothers us about Stella Artois is the pretense. If you are going to drink mass-market lager, at least Carling does not pretend to be something it is not. Stella charges premium prices while delivering industrial beer quality, banking on drinkers not realizing they are paying extra for marketing rather than actual beer quality. Number 5 on our avoid list is Greene King IPA. This represents corporate destruction of British brewing heritage. Greene King was a respected Suffolk brewery with genuine history and traditional brewing methods. Then they were acquired by CK Assets, a Hong Kong-based conglomerate, and everything changed. Greene King IPA is not even an IPA in any meaningful sense. India Pale Ale historically meant a strong, heavily hopped beer brewed to survive long sea voyages. Greene King IPA is weak, barely hopped, and tastes nothing like what an IPA should be. They are using a historical beer-style name to sell a product that bears no resemblance to that style. The brewing of Greene King beers has been consolidated and industrialized. Traditional methods have been replaced with cost-cutting processes. The company has closed traditional breweries and moved production to larger facilities where volume takes precedence over quality. You are drinking beer with a heritage name attached to a product that has been fundamentally altered. What makes Greene King particularly frustrating is how they have used their size to squeeze smaller competitors and dominate pub chains. They own over 2,700 pubs across the UK, and those pubs are required to stock Greene King products regardless of quality. You are often drinking Greene King not because it is good, but because it is the only option available in pubs owned by the same company that brews it. If you are starting to wonder whether any beer you have been drinking is actually what you thought it was, subscribing would really help us continue investigating how corporate consolidation has destroyed quality across British brewing. We are exposing industries where profit maximization has completely overridden tradition, quality, and honest production. Number 4 on our avoid list is John Smith's Extra Smooth. The Extra Smooth designation should immediately signal that something is wrong with this beer. Real ale is not smooth. It has texture, complexity, and character from proper fermentation and conditioning. Extra smooth means the beer has been filtered so aggressively that anything interesting has been removed and then artificially carbonated with nitrogen to create that creamy texture. John Smith's Extra Smooth is served using the widget in the can system or pub taps with nitrogen injection. This is not traditional beer service. It is a gimmick developed to make bland beer seem more interesting through texture manipulation. You are drinking beer that has been stripped of flavor and then given artificial smoothness to disguise how characterless it is. The brewing process for John Smith's involves the standard industrial shortcuts, including adjunct grains, accelerated fermentation, and pasteurization. They have added an extra step of aggressive filtration to create beer so bland that it needs the nitrogen smooth flow gimmick to have any appeal at all. John Smith's is owned by Heineken, another brewing giant that operates at scales incompatible with quality. The brand has Yorkshire heritage that has been completely abandoned in favor of industrial production. You are drinking a beer whose connection to traditional Yorkshire brewing exists only in marketing materials. Number 3 on our avoid list. Carling Zest. This flavored lager represents perhaps the most cynical development in modern brewing, taking already terrible beer and adding artificial fruit flavors to appeal to people who do not actually like beer. Carling Zest comes in various fruit flavors, all of them artificial, all of them masking how bad the base beer is. The ingredients include the standard Carling lager base, which, as we have established, is made with adjunct grains and industrial brewing processes, plus natural flavorings, which is code for concentrated chemical compounds extracted from fruit or synthesized to taste like fruit. You are not drinking beer with real citrus or real lime. You are drinking chemical flavoring added to bad lager. What makes Carling Zest particularly problematic is who it is marketed to. These fruit-flavored lagers target young drinkers, especially women, who have been told through marketing that regular beer is not for them, but these flavored alternatives are more accessible. It is condescending, and it trains people to drink artificially flavored beverages rather than appreciate real beer. The alcohol content combined with sweet fruit flavoring also makes these drinks particularly easy to overconsume. They taste like soft drinks but contain alcohol, encouraging faster drinking and higher consumption than people might manage with regular beer. This is especially concerning for younger drinkers who have not developed tolerance or learned their limits. Number 2 on our avoid list is Budweiser. It is the American lager that represents everything wrong with global corporate brewing. Budweiser is owned by AB InBev and brewed in the UK under license. It is made using rice as a primary ingredient alongside barley malt, which creates that characteristic watery, almost flavorless profile that defines American macro lagers. The brewing process is optimized for speed, consistency, and shelf life rather than flavor or quality. The beer is fermented quickly, filtered aggressively, pasteurized heavily, and artificially carbonated. Every step prioritizes industrial efficiency over brewing tradition and beer quality. What is particularly frustrating about Budweiser is the massive marketing budget that positions it as premium American beer when it is one of the lowest quality lagers available. The Super Bowl advertising, the sports sponsorships, the premium pricing, all of it is designed to create prestige around a product that is fundamentally terrible beer. The global reach of AB InBev means Budweiser is available everywhere, which creates the illusion that it must be good because it is so popular. But ubiquity does not indicate quality. It indicates corporate power and marketing budgets. You are drinking beer that is successful because of business decisions, not brewing excellence. Number 1 on our avoid list, Camden Hells. This represents the most insidious category of all, fake craft beer. Camden Town Brewery was a genuine independent craft brewery when it started. They made interesting beers, operated with integrity, and represented the craft beer movement's values. Then in 2015, they were bought by Anheuser-Busch InBev for a reported £85 million, and everything changed. Camden Hells is now produced by the same corporation that makes Budweiser and Stella Artois. It is brewed in industrial facilities using processes that have nothing to do with craft brewing. The ingredients have been adjusted to reduce costs, and the brewing has been optimized for volume. The entire operation is now just another subsidiary of the world's largest brewing conglomerate. But here is the deception. Camden Hells is still marketed as craft beer. The packaging still features the Camden Town branding. It is still positioned in supermarkets and pubs alongside genuine independent craft beers. Most consumers have no idea it is owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev because that ownership is not prominently disclosed. This fake craft beer phenomenon is devastating to genuine independent breweries. When you buy Camden Hells thinking you are supporting craft brewing, you are actually funding the corporation that is systematically destroying independent brewing through acquisition and market dominance. You are being tricked into supporting the exact opposite of what you think you are supporting. The beer quality has also declined since the acquisition. Early Camden Hells was a decent lager made with quality ingredients and proper brewing technique. Current Camden Hells is noticeably different, brewed faster with cheaper ingredients to hit the margins that Anheuser-Busch InBev demands from all their brands. For beer drinkers who genuinely care about supporting independent brewing and drinking quality beer, Camden Hells represents the worst possible choice. It is corporate beer disguised as craft beer, trading on reputation built before the acquisition while delivering a product that has been fundamentally changed. Now let's talk about 4 beer brands you can actually trust. These are breweries that maintain independence, brew with quality ingredients using traditional methods, and represent what British beer should be. Number 4 on our trust list is Timothy Taylor's Landlord. This Yorkshire brewery has remained independent and family-owned since 1858. Timothy Taylor's Landlord is a proper British pale ale brewed using traditional methods with quality ingredients. It has won more Champion Beer of Britain awards than any other beer, which tells you something about how it is perceived by people who actually understand beer quality. The brewing process uses 100% malted barley with no adjunct grains. The hops are quality varieties chosen for flavor rather than cost. The fermentation takes proper time rather than being accelerated chemically. The beer is conditioned naturally rather than artificially carbonated. This is how beer is supposed to be made. The flavor profile is complex, balanced, and genuinely representative of Yorkshire pale ale tradition. You can taste the quality ingredients and proper brewing technique. This is not a bland, characterless lager. This is beer with depth, complexity, and genuine character. Timothy Taylor's is available in many supermarkets and pubs across the UK, usually at reasonable prices for the quality being delivered. You are getting genuine British brewing. Heritage and quality ingredients without paying premium prices that fund marketing budgets rather than actual beer quality. Number 3 on our trust list is Adnams Southwold Bitter, built on tradition. Adnams is an independent family-owned brewery that has been brewing in Southwold, Suffolk since 1872. Their Southwold Bitter represents traditional British bitter at its best, brewed with local barley when possible and with quality hops. Adnams has invested heavily in environmental sustainability without compromising beer quality. They have reduced water usage, implemented renewable energy, and minimized packaging waste. This is a brewery that cares about more than just profit margins. The brewing process at Adnams uses traditional methods that prioritize flavor development over speed. The beers are properly fermented, naturally conditioned, and packaged with care. You are getting beer that has been made by people who understand brewing tradition and respect their ingredients. Adnams Southwold. Bitter has the characteristic English bitter flavor profile with balanced malt and hop character, moderate alcohol, and a complexity that rewards attention. This is true session beer, something you can drink multiple pints of because it is balanced and drinkable rather than aggressive or overwhelming. Number 2 on our trust list, Fuller's London Pride. While Fuller's was acquired by Asahi in 2019, which normally would disqualify it from our trust list, the brewing has remained at the traditional Griffin Brewery in Chiswick, and the recipes have been maintained. Asahi, unlike AB InBev or Heineken, has shown commitment to preserving the brewing traditions of acquired breweries rather than immediately consolidating and reducing quality. Fuller's London Pride is one of the most respected British pale ales, brewed using 3 hop varieties and 100% malted barley. The brewing process respects tradition while maintaining consistency. The flavor profile is distinctly Fuller's, complex and balanced in ways that represent proper British brewing. The availability of Fuller's London Pride is excellent across the United Kingdom. It is in most supermarkets, many pubs, and it is consistently well kept. You can trust that a pint of London Pride will taste like London Pride regardless of where you buy it, which is rarer than it should be in modern brewing. While we are cautious about corporate ownership, Fuller's has maintained quality after the acquisition better than most breweries in similar situations. Time will tell if that continues, but for now, London Pride remains a trustworthy choice for drinkers wanting quality British Pale Ale. Number 1 on our trust list, Thornbridge, Jaipur. This represents the best of genuine British craft brewing. Thornbridge is an independent brewery founded in 2005 that has maintained quality and independence while growing to significant size. Their Jaipur IPA is a proper India Pale Ale, hoppy and flavorful in ways that represent what IPA should actually be. The brewing process at Thornbridge uses quality ingredients without shortcuts. The hops are premium varieties chosen for flavor contribution. The malt is 100% barley malt with no adjuncts. The fermentation is allowed proper time to develop complexity. This is craft brewing done right. Jaipur IPA has won awards and is widely respected among beer enthusiasts for good reason. It is a beer that rewards attention, with hop character that develops as you drink and a malt backbone that provides balance. This is what beer tastes like when it is made by people who care about quality rather than quarterly earnings reports. Thornbridge has expanded availability significantly while maintaining quality, which is rare in craft brewing. Jaipur is now available in many supermarkets and pubs across the UK at prices that are higher than mass-market lagers, but reasonable for genuine craft beer. You are getting real brewing quality without paying the extreme premiums some craft breweries charge. 8 beer brands to avoid and 4 you can trust. The contrast between them shows exactly what has gone wrong with British brewing and what is possible when breweries prioritize quality over profit maximization. The beer industry has been devastated by corporate consolidation over the past few decades. Beloved breweries have been acquired, their recipes changed, production moved, and heritage turned into marketing materials, while the actual brewing bears no resemblance to tradition. The fake craft beer phenomenon has made it even harder for consumers to make informed choices. When corporate giants buy craft breweries and continue marketing them as independent, you cannot trust labels or branding. You need to research ownership and production methods to know what you are actually buying. For British drinkers who remember when beer meant something, when breweries were local businesses run by brewers rather than subsidiaries of global corporations, the current state of the industry is depressing. But independent breweries still exist, still brew quality beer using traditional methods, and deserve support from drinkers who care about quality. The choice is yours. You can continue drinking mass-market lagers brewed with adjunct grains and chemical additives, supporting corporations that prioritize profit over quality. Or you can seek out breweries that maintain independence, brew with quality ingredients, and respect brewing traditions that stretch back centuries. Real beer costs slightly more because real ingredients and proper brewing take time and resources. But the difference in quality is substantial enough to justify the modest price increase. Your money supports businesses that care about beer rather than just profit margins. If this changed how you will look at beer from now on, subscribing would really help us continue exposing corporate consolidation and fake craft beer that is destroying British brewing. We are investigating industries where beloved brands have been hollowed out and turned into marketing shells for inferior products. Let us know in the comments which beers you are avoiding now and which independent breweries you have discovered worth supporting.